Upon viewing our ASSEDA results, we're presented with a list of all weight matrices, or ribbles, we selected in Select Splice Site Types menu. In this case, I know the variant we submitted has an effect on the splice donor site, so let's click All Sites under Donor Genome. We could also view those sites which have increased, decreased, or remained unchanged in binding site strength. Results in this table are color-coded, and as we can see from the table legend at the bottom of the page, a red row in the table indicates a site has been abolished. In this particular case, the initial individual information content, or RI, of the site is 6.6. After the contribution of our variant has been taken into account, it has an RI of negative 12.1, a change of negative 18.6 bits. This corresponds to a fold change of negative 95.2. There are some nearby cryptic sites, and the strongest one is 196 nucleotides upstream. This is upstream of the acceptor. Since the splice order is inconsistent with the mechanism of splicing, it cannot be used. Next, let's click on the Phenotype Prediction tab. This tab contains data on exon definition. Under the Table tab, we see all prospective isoforms based on RI total. RI total is a measure of the exon as a whole, based on the donor site, acceptor site, and gap surprisal. We see that the natural exon has been abolished, and the most likely cryptic site is 87 nucleotides downstream. This cryptic site's usage has been observed in the wet lab, in addition to exon skipping. Under the Isoform Structure tab, ASSEDA draws the structure of prospective isoforms. The first shows the natural site. Next, we see exon skipping. And finally, a third isoform is shown making use of the cryptic site 87 nucleotides downstream. In the Relative Abundance of Isoforms tab, we find a 3D graph representing the predicted abundance of the isoforms found in the last two tabs. In this case, before the contribution of the variant is observed, the natural exon is much more likely to be observed than the isoform making use of the nearby cryptic site. However, after the contribution of the variant is observed, the relative abundance of the isoforms becomes the opposite, and the cryptic isoform is expected to be much more abundant. Finally, these isoforms can be visualized using the UCSC genome browser in the custom UCSC track. After clicking the Go to Genome Browser button, we can see the natural exon and our cryptic isoform 87 nucleotides downstream. We can also see these two isoforms which don't conform to the mechanism of splicing shifted to the right.